We're talking about your journey that, you have risen from one part to another. You've had your falls. There are a lot of people that I know, the CXOs that you speak with, the CXOs that I speak to, who go through a similar journey. However, to acknowledge, to be aware, and to come to a space where you know what your natural frequency is a very long journey.
Yes.
Where does it begin for people who are high achievers, who are still going through a lot of turmoil within,
Yes.
but do not know what to do?
Sonia, so even before we come to how do you get there?
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Why do we not do it?
Yeah.
You've lived the same life as I have.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Why do we not do this? Why don't we naturally operate at our natural frequency? What makes us operate at scripts that are meant for others?
Yeah.
Now, whether that script is about financial freedom, whether that script is about power, it's about position, usually it's about wealth. That's the easiest, marker in that sense. But tell me, why do we play those scripts? Why are we naturally not like this? Because this is not how we were born, right?
Right.
We were born
in a natural
simple,
frequency,
free, and fearless.
Yeah.
And the only one fear that a child is born with, do you know what that is? There's only one fear that we are born with.
The fear of not being fed, not being loved.
No, hunger, all that is acquired.
Mm-hmm.
Love, hunger, abandonment, separation, insecurities, everything's acquired. There's only one biological fear you're born with.
And what is that?
The fear of falling. That's it. That's it. That's the only fear you are biologically born with. Everything else is acquired. So we were born fearless.
Yeah.
Then how did we end up in a place where we are not fearless today, where we operate behind these filters,
masks of fears that we carry?
We hold them. They become our excuses, right?
Yeah.
But why? Why do we not operate at natural frequency?
We are not aware. We're not even aware how to recognize.
So why don't we want to be aware?
I would love to know this.
Because it's convenient. It's very convenient. And I remember this, and the experiences that I'm very grateful for, having lived through the dark ages long enough, I possibly now hold this freedom and this liberation very dearly. But it's because the alternative to living the script is to take responsibility. Right. It is so much easier to be a victim. It's so much easier. It's very comforting. It's very comforting. It's very convenient. And it gives you the opportunity to not be yourself. Yeah. It's so much easier, right, to blame somebody else. Yeah. Because the alternative to that is to take responsibility. Then there's nobody left to blame after that. And would I be right to say that in your case, for that matter, the accident in Singapore turned out to break that inertia? Yes. Of staying in that zone of being comfortable with that identity of being a victim in many ways. I think I had already begun that journey a little while ago, but did nothing about it. Mm-hmm. See, that fire is within all of us, Sonia. That light is already there. Yeah. It is dying to burst forth. Yeah. It is deeply uncomfortable. True. Already there, right? So it's a question of just how much can you blind yourself to it? And eventually it catches up. In my case, I am very grateful that it caught up in the form of an accident some 12 years ago or whatever number of years ago. But usually it doesn't catch up like that. Usually it catches up in the form of disease. It catches up in the form of frustration. It catches up in the form of this perpetual anger. Depression. You've seen a lot depression. So that's how it catches up. And catches up, it does without fail. Burnout for leaders, stressed out, depression. Actually, all the words, all your new age issues. Yeah. And a lot of it is, by the way, pure victim playing and anger and rebellion. So for me, those are red flags. You said, how do you become aware? Right? For me, awareness starts at your behavior levels. Every time, Sonia, that you're angry, hurt, upset, offended, irritated, sarcastic, sad, any one of those, it's coming from a space of helplessness. It's coming from a space of loss of control. So every time you come up against those, it is because you're operating from a space that is not within you.
Yeah.
Or it's within you, but it's not yours. Like I realized my pattern on this. Right? We were raised to be, and I think that's the right way to raise children, but we were raised to be very approval-seeking kids.
Absolutely.
Right? You know, log kya kahenge, Sharma ji ka beta, make sure you're kind to somebody else, look at how they're thinking, look at how they are feeling, etc., etc. Which is good.
Happens till date as
and
well.
I think it's the right way to raise your children. Right? You can't raise them insensitively. But I realized, Sonia, that every time I got angry, one could get angry about anything. Every time I got angry, there was a person at the other end. So it was a person issue. I didn't get angry about money. I didn't get angry about achievement. I didn't get angry because somebody else didn't do something on a job. I got angry every time. It had to come back to how I was being treated. Or I assumed I was being disrespected, or you're not being polite to me, or you disrespected me, or how dare you make me wait like that. You know, there was always one of those how you treat me issues around it.
Yeah.
And the reason we don't let go of our fears, why do you think we don't let go of them? Like I said, one is take responsibility.
Right? Because again, to let go of that is to let go of an identity.
And that's the only way now I know how to live.
Right? Yeah.
Right? So my fear, my personal fear was, even when I realized this epiphany happened, that, you know, I get angry every time there's a person issue around it and I need to break through it. I dare not. I dare not, because my fear behind that approval seeking behaviors, is saying that if I don't be approval seeking, I'm going to be obnoxious and rude and self-centered. And I'm going to become this unbearable person to be around. And that's a valid fear. Right? For somebody else, by the way, who holds on to, let's say, financial well-being or has a number in mind and financial insecurity.
Right.
The fear they're hiding behind it. What's holding them from pursuing their dreams is, let's say, financial security, is the fear that if I start pursuing that, I will become poor. Yeah. And you'll realize that every time they get angry, it's about a money issue. Right? So depending on what's that fear you're hiding behind, watch your emotions. Because your emotions will tell you what your shadows are, what are you hiding behind. And then, wo kehte hai na, Mountain Dew says, no, dar ke aage jeet hai. And this wasn't meant to be a plug for Mountain Dew at all. I think you should charge them money for it. But having said that, the fact is that I discovered that beyond that fear of being approval seeking, when I actually worked at it, instead of becoming obnoxious and, you know, rude and selfish and self-centered, it actually liberated me to love, Sonia. It allowed me to love fearlessly. Yeah. Because suddenly, if I have no expectations from you, and I'm not expecting you to love me back, I can actually say I love you to you without wanting you or needing you to say it back to me.
Without filters, without intentions, without any expectations.
There's no counterparty on this.
Yeah.
Then I'm actually free to love. And that's what I discovered. That's what that freedom is.
So much liberty and freedom.
There is absolute liberation.
And weightlessness.
Absolutely. And that's the grace, right?
Yeah.
Suddenly I am love.
Yeah.
I don't need to be in love. I am love.
Yeah.
Because
that's who I am.
That's who I am. That is who I really was, hiding behind this whole, you know, approval seeking facade of, you know, you must respect me, I need to be cool. All the validation that I was seeking for myself that needed to come from you earlier, now comes from within. Suddenly there's no counterparty.